and welcome to Upon Further Review. I'm Josh Aubrey. Plenty to get to in this week's show, but we start things off with the huge announcement that came out of the Georgia Southern Athletic Department on Tuesday, as it was announced that Jared Benko has indeed found his man. The next head coach of the Georgia Southern Eagles is Clay Helton. He becomes the 12th full-time head coach in the modern era at Georgia Southern. He was the head coach at USC from 2015 through this season. He started the year at 1-1 and then was relieved of his coaching duties. Still had over 2 years and $10 million left on his contract. The 49-year-old head coach went 46-24 while as the head coach at USC, including winning the Rose Bowl and the Pac-12 championship in 2017. Helton will make an average of $800,000 a year over the 5 years of his contract. A press conference is expected to be held at Georgia Southern late in this week. We'll have more details as they become available, and we'll bring you the press conference and plenty more for you on next week's show. As for what's going on the field, the Georgia Southern Eagles getting set to host top 21 ranked Coastal Carolina. They're coming into Paulson Stadium this week. The Eagles coming off a tough 21-14 loss this past week, in which they tied the game with just over a minute left and then saw the Georgia State Panthers march down the field and score with about 30 seconds left in the game, and they were unable to come back and tie things up. This week they'll have Coastal Carolina coming to call. We'll hear from head coach interim head coach. I guess he's not that anymore. We'll hear from Kevin Whitley later on in the show. We'll also hear from a couple of the players as well. As for the area high school football coming up, the Statesboro Blue Devils have it all on the line this week as they hit the road for Glynn Academy. They win, they're either the 3 or the 4 seed in the state playoffs. A loss, and their season comes to a close. We'll hear from Jeff Kaiser and some of his players. We'll also hear from Southeast Bulloch head coach Jared Zito and his players as the Yellow Jackets have sewed up the number 2 spot. They wrap up the regular season at home this week against Groves. The Bulloch Academy Gators with a big game for them. A win against Pinewood on the road in Belleville will mean the Gators will advance to the state playoffs. A loss and things are still up in the air. We'll hear from head coach from Bulloch Academy, Steve Pennington, and his players. All that and more coming up on Upon Further Review. And a reminder before we go to break, hopefully you'll never be in an accident, but if so, please give our friends at the Sullivan Law Firm a call, 912-489-8888, or online at thesullivanlawfirm.com.
You choose the combination, and they'll cook it in their 500-degree brick oven in just a few minutes. Your own delicious pizza experience using only the freshest ingredients on hand-tossed dough and individually sized just for you. And that Eagle Nation is why they're called Your Pie, because it's all about you. The Your Pie in Statesboro and downtown Savannah is owned and operated by Joe Hunt, a Georgia Southern grad. So when you order your next pizza, be true blue and make it all about you. Go see Joe at Your Pie, and I guarantee it, you'll be glad you did.
Well, of course, the big news coming out of the Georgia Southern Athletic Department is that Clay Helton from USC will be taking over as the Eagles' new head football coach. Now, as to what his duties will be and how much of a say-so he'll have over personnel and things that are going on for this year remains to be seen. Hopefully we'll hear that at the press conference coming up later on in the week. But as for this week's game at home against nationally ranked Coastal Carolina, we had a chance to talk with Kevin Whitley and a couple of the players about the matchup.
The longer you go in the season, in a challenging season, it gets very difficult to keep everybody on board. But one thing I've tried to stress to the guys is that everybody here is interviewing. You're interviewing. So whoever the new coach is, or new staff, or new players, you got an obligation to yourself to perform well. So the next guy, whoever that may be, will come in and look at these tapes. They may be watching games now if they're interested in the position. So everybody should be playing and coaching hard. All of us are under microscope here, so you have to give yourself an opportunity to do that. And in terms of the players, I tell them all the time, guys, hey, whenever you want to quit, just you can leave. You really can. Let's keep fighting. Let's keep fighting, keep believing, And for me, this is Georgia Southern. So for me, I don't know what the quitting is. So I'm going to keep fighting, keep preparing, and keep doing what we can do to give ourselves the best chance to win. Coastal Carolina's done an excellent job over the last couple of years. They really built the program up to where it's, like I said, it's a nationally ranked team. They play tremendously hard. But one thing I think you'll know about the Sun Belt is that anybody can be beaten on any given week. And so, like I said, as long as there's a chance, we have a chance. And so, we have to get ready, get more confident, and just finish. We haven't played 4 quarters. Let's just play 4 quarters and then see where it falls. So that's us making mistakes, may make a bad call. It's on everybody, and it starts with me. So we always got to get better. Tremendous challenge for our defense. Offensively, it starts with the quarterback. A lot of times you see kids with the it factor. And I think he has it. I don't think you can say one thing that he does well because he does so many things well. But I think he's a great competitor. You see him on the sidelines during the game, keeping guys up, keeping guys motivated, getting in their faces. So I just think he's a complete player. I think he is one of the best quarterbacks in the nation, not just the Sun Belt. He does it, tremendous leader. Can throw it, can run it. He's tough. It's just kind of a complete package. So they can run it. I think they're leading our conference in rushing right now. He throws the ball. He may be leading the nation in passing efficiency. And so they are by far the best offensive team we faced this year. But again, what does that say for us? That gives us a challenge to compete against one of the better teams and gives us an opportunity to hopefully redeem ourselves on some of the ways we played throughout the course of the year. So, they can run it, they can throw it. They're good on special teams. They're very aggressive in the. I think they lead our conference in punt return average. Defense is stout. Anything else I need to say? They're unbelievable, and so we got to be ready to play. We got to be able to take advantage of whatever they present. And so, if we got to throw it, we need to be able to throw it. But one thing with teams that are predominantly running teams, they like to throw it when they want to, not when they have to. So we got to do a good job of mixing it up, throwing it when they're not expecting us to throw it, run it when they don't expect us to run it, and keep them off balance. But we definitely want to control the ball, keep their offense off the field. I think that's how you stop a really good offense. So if we can control the time of possession, don't turn it over. Again, with the Georgia State game, those 2 turnovers were costly for us. One, I felt like it was almost like a punt, so field position wasn't that bad. But anytime you get on your side of the field, the plus side of the field, you want to come up with points. And I think that's where we struggled last week. But Coastal, great staff, great team, complete team, and done some tremendous things over the last couple of years. So we're going to have to be ready to play.
Matt, we've talked about it. The goal is still the same, and since the start, it's always been to improve each week. And we can still continue to do that. So we're just going to keep chugging along and doing that. As a team, I think, offensively, first and foremost, I think we've done pretty well moving the ball. We put up a lot of yards of offense, actually, but just getting more productive points in the red zone and, just putting stuff in place to stop shooting ourselves in the foot. And once we could do that, I think we'll be able to move along as far as that's concerned. You go look back at the tape, all of the mistakes and everything were just on us, like mental assignments and just missing those type of things. So if we could clean that up, we'll be fine. So just getting, just recognizing certain things and getting in the playbooks, and we'll be fine. In the run game, that's one man-to-man. Everybody has to do their job. So as long as the O-line can get good movement and we can recognize our assignments and get them holes open, all of our running backs will take care of it. Gerald, Logan, whoever, everybody will take care of themselves. So.
Any opponent that, we play each week, we respect them. So, we're going to have a game plan ready for this week and, just give it our best shot. Just taking it each day at a time, at practice, whether it's practice, meetings, lifts, workouts, whatever it is, just taking it one step at a time and just taking on a task week to week. So, we don't get too ahead of ourselves. So we're just trying to focus on this week and just get better. We respect the opponent, but, we feel like our biggest opponent is ourselves. So just looking in the mirror and just making the corrections that we need to correct is, our biggest thing that we need to focus on. They're a solid team. Like I said, we respect them, but we know what we can do and we know what we need to do. So we just look forward to it.
That game's set for a 6 o'clock kickoff Saturday at Paulson Stadium. Stay with us. High school previews coming up next. McCooks Pharmacy, located on Highway 80 East, is family owned and operated by Lynn and Janie McCook, as well as their son, Josh McCook. Serving the Bulloch County area since 2005, McCooks Pharmacy offers fast and friendly service where the customers come first. Vaccinations are available, including shingles, flu, pneumonia, and Tdap. Drive-through service is available with 2 drive-through windows for your convenience. McCooks Pharmacy offers free local deliveries, and new customers are always welcome. Continuing the tradition of our family caring for your family, McCooks Pharmacy, Highway 80 East. Family Internal Medicine Associates of Statesboro, providing primary care for Statesboro area patients since 1998, providing complete physicals, complete sports physicals, Medicare wellness exams, full diabetes treatment, and education from lifestyle changes to oral medications to insulin pump therapy, in-house dermatology, in-house circulation tests and ultrasounds, and in-house labs. Featuring nurse practitioner Melissa Beasley, Family Internal Medicine of Statesboro can accommodate same-day or next-day appointments to serve your needs. Family Internal Medicine Associates of Statesboro, where we care.
At Badcock Home Furniture and More, we know what it means to find the perfect fit. The feeling of surprise. That just right moment of delight. It's what we see every time a family finds their priced right style and snuggle perfect comfort. Because for us, home isn't simply where you live, it's how you live. Badcock Home Furniture and More. Just right.
Well, on the high school front, the Statesboro Blue Devils had a chance to make it as the number 2 seed and host the state playoffs. They would have been able to hold on to their 31-21 lead that they had on the road at Effingham County. Instead, they saw that lead evaporate and gave up a field goal as time expired and lost that game 34-31. This week, the Blue Devils know a win against Glynn Academy assures them of a state playoff spot. A loss, and they're out of the state playoffs. Well, they could be the 3, they could be the 4 seed, but they have to win on the road at Glynn Academy. We had a chance to talk with head coach Jeff Kaiser and a couple of his players about the matchup.
Another opportunity for growth. We hope our kids will push forward. All of our misfortunes Friday were self-inflicted. We had 13 penalties for 130 yards. Whether or not some of them were legitimate, that's not for us to decide. We don't make any excuses about that, but it is what it is. And then the key mistakes at the end on the special teams, on the missed kick, and 2 of the personal foul penalties were on plays that would have gotten us off the field defensively that they ended up scoring on. So self-inflicted in that area, but it is what it is. We push forward. It's a little unfortunate we go from the possibility of being a 2 seed to facing elimination this week if we don't take care of business against another very good football team in Glynn Academy. Hey, good day of school. We'll know more when we go to practice this week. But everything will be positive. There's no browbeating going on. Usually just teaching moments and press on to get better. I think our kids will answer the bell. Yeah. Well, the 2 defensive scores kept us in the game. We only punted twice. The big issue was the penalties, and then I don't know if we can call the muffed punt a muff because it was a very good faded kick that Tim probably shouldn't have tried to catch, but he did, and it happened, and we overcame that. And then the one at the end is one that stung us, and. Like I said, we're not going to look in the rear view. We're going to look forward and try to take care of getting better and looking forward to this week. Again, it goes back to we had in the second half, we had some key penalties at some inopportune times that are drive killers. And, not taking nothing away from Effingham, they were a very solid defensive football team. We had some big plays in the first half. I think the opening drive we kept for 13 plays. in about 9 minutes. So we need to do that more consistently. We got beat, and a majority of that is us beating ourselves. So it happens. I'll take responsibility for the penalties. That was very uncharacteristic of us. So, like I said, we'll look ahead and move forward. We need to take care of business for us. We just need to win. I told the kids Friday, you look at it as our playoff game is Friday to continue to play. So that's how we'll practice and prepare like we always do. There's no magic, no anything we're going to do different. We're going to keep doing what we do and try to eliminate the mistakes and get better at what we do and move forward.
What kind of game do you expect out of Glynn Academy?
Probably the most physical offensive line we will have seen. Very good on their defensive line as well, which historically they are. Very solid football team that's been beaten by some really good teams. It'll be a great game because they're fighting for life just like we are. The winner of this game advances, the loser goes home. So, they're very similar to what they do offensively to us. So that will be familiar, but it's going to be a good game.
I feel like we just need to get better because we need to finish stronger. Like, we need to minimize mistakes and just play as a team more because if we get mad or upset, I feel like we just going to get down on each other. I feel like we're picking up more intensity because, when the first starts of the game, we done played. We just come out not so energetic, and then we pick up in the second half. But I feel like last week we played more better in the first half than we played all year. I feel like we feel like we're ready, but we just need to get better and be more focused on this week, and then just forget about last week because last week it don't matter now. This week matter more than what we did last week.
Yeah, last week was a tough loss. I feel like if we reduce the mistakes and stuff, we get the offense going. And I feel like the defense, we come out a little slow. It takes some time for us to get it going. But I feel like if we get it going at the start, I feel like it'll pay off and we'll do better. I feel like we're doing a good job. I feel like if we do good at practice this week and forget last week, it's in the past now, I feel like we'll do good against Glynn.
That game getting underway at 7:30 at Glynn County Stadium. Stay with us. Southeast Bulloch's previews coming up next. The Southeast Bulloch Coaches Show segment is brought to you in part thanks to Southeast Tire and Service. Southeast Tire and Service has been in business for 13 years, offering extensive vehicle repair and service from bumper to bumper. Come have a cup of coffee with us and let us help you with your car needs. Located at 400 Parker Avenue in Brooklyn. With operations across North America and customers all around the globe, Interfor is one of the world's largest lumber providers. Interfor serves the needs of customers, strengthens local economies, and builds value for its employees and shareholders. Interfor is where excellence meets opportunity. In the past decade, Interfor has invested $1.3 billion into modern facilities and systems that employ the latest technologies. Interfor, excellence grows here. Well, the Southeast Bulloch Yellow Jackets were able to secure themselves with the number 2 seed and will be hosting the state playoffs in 2 weeks at Fred Shaver Field as they were able to knock off Windsor Forest this past week at Fred Shaver Field. Now this week, they're back at home. They're going to be taking on Groves. The game doesn't matter as far as seeding or anything for the Jackets, but they would like to win it in order to keep some momentum going as they get ready for the state playoffs. We had a chance to talk with head coach Jared Zito and a couple of his players about the game.
Oh, I love the way we came out, fast and physical. We were just we were trying to prove a point, make a statement in our region, and our kids really rose to the challenge. I thought we played really fast. We played super excited. We scored on every drive except for 2. One of them we had a bad snap to end the drive. The other one was right before halftime. Defensively, I think at one point we were at like 7 or 8 3-and-outs. I know we started the game with 3 3-and-outs. Just did a great job. We were relentless to the ball. We probably swarmed to the ball better on defense Friday than we have all year. It feels great. I mean, I think it's everything we hope for. Obviously the one thing we wish we were the region champ. I mean, that's the one thing that I think is probably still, deep in our crawl somewhere that we're a little frustrated with. But hopefully we continue to use that as motivation and as encouragement. And, hey, listen, we're going to play football this Friday at senior night. We're going to play a home game in a week from Friday. We're not sure who the opponent is yet, but we got a big goal on the table. And really what RTG stands for is let's be the first team in school history since 1973 to get out of the first round. And that's our challenge, and that's going to be our drive. And once we get in the playoffs, I say it's 0-0. Everybody's undefeated. The records and seedings don't really matter other than home games. Go out and play your best football and see where it goes. From a momentum standpoint, it's senior night, it's a home game for all those reasons. But then the bigger picture is we always talk about, hey, respect your opponent, but we always work on us. And so Friday's another opportunity for us to get better. We want to be the best version of ourselves on Friday, and then we want to continue to get better for the next Friday. So, at the end of the day, any team could beat any other team on any given night, and we kind of learned that lesson, earlier this year. And I think moving forward, we just got to make sure we're doing the right things for us and then preparing ourselves mentally and emotionally for that first playoff game.
I feel like we get better each week as we go. We build momentum each week, and we just try to ride the wave, see how high we can get it, go as deep as we can go.
Where do you see the team improving?
Our O-line definitely improved a lot this week playing against Windsor Forest. Beach gave us a little bit of troubles. I think one guy had like 16 tackles because we couldn't block him. But we improved a lot. We just mowed through them, basically just did what we do. We want to build, just keep building on us, working on us. We want to be the best team that we can be going into the first round.
Definitely making their first tackle on contact, doing that on defense and on offense, coming out the second half and putting more points on the board. It was very important to us as a team to make a statement and go out there and show Windsor that we weren't playing around with them and just win the game. We'll really just execute as good as we can and go out there and play our best.
And stay with us. Coming up next, we'll visit with Steve Pennington and the Bulloch Academy Gators.
Ready for fall? Us too at RJ Poe. Get ready to cheer on your favorite team in a new performance polo from Peter Millar, Southern Tide and AFCO. Ladies, we have the best brands and trending fashions. Complete your look with one of our best-selling shoe brands, Soft, On Cloud, and Free People. Shop these brands and so much more at one of our 3 locations, RJ Pope Buckhead, Downtown, and Vidalia.
Well, the Bulloch Academy Gators know if they win this week on the road in Belleville against Pinewood, they will be in the state playoffs. What they don't know is if they lose, whether they'll be able to make it the playoffs or not, because the GISA is going with a power poll system, which means the better team you play, you could lose and stay the same or possibly move up. But the Gators do know if they win, they are in. We had a chance to talk with Steve Pennington and some of his players about how the Gators are going on in with a little momentum after 2 straight wins and the game with Pinewood.
Friday night was a super time for us. It was an opportunity to get a lot of players some playing time, from our young ones to the older ones, and it was an opportunity also to realize that execution is the name of the game, and we started out a little slow, but yet our players responded beautifully on both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively, and once we kicked it in, we really did some mighty good things. Offensively, Josh, I believe in all our drives, the scoring drives, were 8 plays or more, and so we utilized the clock and kept our defense off the field. Our defense, we did come up with a couple of turnovers, and really one of our better games is getting a lot of people to the ball. So there was a lot of excitement and energy on both sides of the football, which we were proud of. Honestly, anytime you mention the word Pinewood around here, it elevates everybody's spirits pretty doggone good. Our focus has got to be on, again, just preparation, and let the game take care of itself. I know there's a lot of emotions in this game, and even though this is just my second year here, I have found out firsthand the importance of this game. But it's also important not for bragging rights, but as far as the region is concerned, it puts us in a pretty good position there that if we can pull out a victory, what it will do is help us in our power rankings and move us up to hopefully a much better seed. So there's a lot at stake besides just bragging rights for two schools that's about 20 miles apart. What we're going to have to do, Josh, is we're going to really have to play probably our best game of the year. They are explosive. I think they're averaging over 40-something points a game, and we're going to have to do everything we can to minimize that and at least drop it down at least halfway. We're going to have to play great defense. They are explosive, and it all starts with their quarterback, Mick Watson over there, and just one fine athlete from the get-go can throw it and run it, and they're using him in multiple positions. So we got to be on our P's and Q's defensively. Offensively is it where we really going to have to rise ourselves to another level. We have to make sure that we're making positive yardage, minimize our mistakes, do not chase the chains, and chew up a lot of first downs and eat the clock and try to score as much as possible. One of the greatest things they can do for our team this week is keep our defense off the field, because if we got the ball, they can't score. And so it's going to be a complementary game from not only offense and defense, but our special teams are going to have to play lights out as well.
Well, I think we've been playing pretty well so far. I mean, we've been doing good the last few weeks, even though we got some injured players right now. But this game, we're hoping to do our best. Well, our defense is doing real good after that the 0 points last game. On offense, we've been scoring a lot in every game, so pretty good. Well, we know it's a big game. We just gotta play our best. We gotta do everything we can this week to practice. That's about it.
Well, defensively, we're a very strong team, and the only reason we've allowed a few unnecessary touchdowns is because we're on the field most of the game. But I feel like this week offense is definitely coming around finally, and we're going to be pretty deadly on both sides of the ball. Pinewood, I mean, it's been said across all of Georgia, is one of the biggest football rivalries in Georgia. So, I mean, there's going to be a ton of people at this game. Both teams are fired up, like beyond fired up, just to play this game. So, it's absolutely motivating us. I mean, first of all, just to beat Pinewood in general is just a huge thing for us. And, I mean, if we can secure that, a pretty good seeding in the playoffs, that would be awesome.
That game with Pinewood set for a 7:30 kickoff in Belleville. That'll wrap it up for this week's show. We thank you for joining us. Hope to see you again next week.